grandparents, many use some form of social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pictures, stories, and posts seen by friends, family, and strangers. And tonight, WDSU investigates why a council member and the NAACP are asking for a state investigation over what ended up on an elected official's Facebook page.
That's a grave disrespect to the community.
But the person in question says he doesn't know how a racial slur ended up on his Facebook page. The elected leader says he was hacked or tagged by someone else, but others aren't so sure. Investigative reporter Travers Mackel has reaction from the man in question.
Scott, the person who had the picture up, is an elected constable. He admits he's not tech savvy and is defending himself tonight, maintaining that he's not a racist. In the area of Raceland in Lafourche Parish, most people know Dwayne LaBeouf. The car in his driveway lets everyone know he's the elected constable. It's a law enforcement position. Constables serve citations ordered by the Justice of the Peace Courts and act as the enforcement officer of evictions and garnishments ordered by those small claims courts. LaBeouf has been in office for over 12 years, and in the last election cycle, he ran unopposed.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm straightforward.
But LaBeouf is not without recent controversy. 1 year ago, the sheriff's office opened an investigation into an incident in which LaBeouf was accused of using a racial slur, the N-word, in a court proceeding. He denies the allegation, but the local chapter of the NAACP did speak out back then, telling the Thibodaux paper, the Daily Comet, "We've got to rid our community of people like that. It hurts my heart to hear things like that." Now, 1 year later, LaBeouf again finds himself in hot water with the NAACP for another situation involving a racial slur. This is a screen grab from LaBeouf's personal Facebook page, and on it, a picture of an African-American child with a racial slur.
But something needs to be done.
Burnell Tolbert heads up the Lafourche Parish chapter of the NAACP.
That's a grave disrespect to the community.
Constable LaBeouf says he has a Facebook page for his elected position and doesn't deny the picture appeared on his personal page. Do you understand this could be taken as racially insensitive?
Sure it can. It's taken racially sensitive by people who are racially sensitive. The bottom line is some of my very best friends are black.
We also asked Constable LaBeouf the question the NAACP and others want answered. How do you think that ended up
A
there?
friend of mine that about once a week he prints silly stuff like that, and more than likely he either tagged me or just to be a jokester, he hacked me or whatever that is, how they do that. But when I seen it, it looked to me like I was tagged with it, you know. And if they took it racially, well, let them take it racially. Is all they can do. It is what it is.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Like I said, I know his history.
And the NAACP says it's taken action.
I made some calls to Baton Rouge. I made some calls to the U.S. Attorney. I made some calls about it. So there will be an investigation. I guarantee you that.
Thibodaux is the parish seat and the largest city in that area. City Councilwoman Constance Johnson is aware of the situation and supports any further investigation into the matter.
I believe it's racist. When I look at the picture, I have no doubt. Now, whether or not he did it, that's another story.
LaBeouf says the NAACP is out to get him.
And if it is the head of the NAACP that does that, well, he's got bigger fish to fry. I mean, he needs to come over here in my hood where I work at and come take care of some of the drug dealers and some of the, if he really wants to do a part to help the community, he needs to come here and stop some of these shootings around here, stop some of this drug dealing, if he really wants to do something positive to make himself look good rather than try to belittle me.
I'm not out to get him. Like I said, I heard about the man. You know, people come to us and make complaints about these things. That's how we learn about a lot of these racial issues, but we don't go look for them.
He's just trying to take something that somebody else did and put it in my pocket and make me carry it. It ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna stand for it. Now, if he wants to, anytime, Burnell Tolbert, and this is an invitation to you, sir, anytime you want to get on me one-on-one and have a debate about racial issues, bring it on.
Constables statewide, like LaBeouf, are considered part-time workers, and the bulk of their funding comes from filing fees collected by their attached justices of the peace. Scott?